My name is Elena, and I raised my son Derek to be better than this. The text came through on a Tuesday morning while I was folding laundry. Don't call me anymore. I'm tired of you and your requests. I need space from this. I stared at my phone for a solid minute. My hands were shaking. I called him. It rang 4 times. Mom, did you not just read what I sent? Derek, what are you talking about? What requests? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Every week it's something. Can you watch the girls? Can you pick up groceries for Sunday dinner? Can you help Brooke with her charity thing? I have my own life. Those were... Derek, you asked me to watch the girls last month because you had that conference. And I offered to help with groceries because you mentioned Brooke was overwhelmed. That's exactly what I mean. You always have an explanation. You always make it sound like I'm the bad guy. I'm not trying to... I'm done with this conversation. Respect my boundaries, Mom. The line went dead. I sat down on the couch. The laundry basket tipped over. I didn't pick it up. My brother Neil called that afternoon. Hey, Lainey, you coming to Dad's birthday thing on Saturday? I don't know yet. You sound weird. What's wrong? Derek sent me a text this morning. He doesn't want me to contact him anymore. Silence. Then, what? Why? He says I make too many requests, that I'm exhausting. That's insane. You barely ask him for anything. Last month you drove 3 hours to watch Paige's soccer game in the rain. He doesn't see it that way. Did Brooke put him up to this? I don't know. Maybe. She's been different lately. Colder. You want me to call him? No, don't. If he needs space, I'll give him space. Lainey, come on. He's your son. You can't just... Neil, I'm tired. I'll call you later. I didn't call him later. That Saturday I went to my dad's birthday party alone. Derek didn't show up. Brooke posted photos on social media from some vineyard 2 hours away. The girls were smiling in matching sundresses. My Aunt Sharon cornered me by the cake table. Where's Derek? I haven't seen him in months. He's busy. Work stuff. On a Saturday? That's strange. He's very dedicated. She looked at me like she didn't believe me. I didn't blame her. My dad pulled me aside when I was leaving. You all right, sweetheart? I'm fine, Dad. You don't look fine. You look like you're carrying something heavy. Derek and I had a disagreement. He needs some time. Time for what? I don't know. He squeezed my hand. Kids go through phases. He'll come around. I wanted to believe him. 3 weeks passed. I didn't call Derek. I didn't text. I didn't comment on Brooke's posts or send cards to the girls. Brooke's mother Diane called me one evening. Elena, hi. I was hoping to catch you. Brooke mentioned you might be able to help with the school fundraiser next month. My chest tightened. I don't think I'm available for that. Oh? Brooke said you usually help with these things. Things have changed. Is everything okay between you two? You'd have to ask Brooke that. Elena, did something happen? Diane, I appreciate the call, but I really can't help this time. I hung up before she could press further. Neil invited me to lunch in October. You're really not going to reach out to him? He asked me not to. I'm respecting that. For how long? For as long as it takes. Takes for what? I pushed my salad around. I don't know. This is crazy, Lainey. He's your only son. And he's an adult who made a choice. I'm not going to beg him to love me. Neil leaned back. Brooke's been asking questions. What kind of questions? Derek told her you were being difficult, that you wouldn't respect boundaries. But then her mom mentioned you turned down the fundraiser and Brooke got defensive, said you were playing victim. I'm not playing anything. I'm just existing. That's the problem. Derek expected you to fall apart. He expected you to call him crying and apologizing for whatever imaginary thing he's mad about. Well, I'm not going to. Good. Let him sit in it. Thanksgiving came. Neil invited me to his place. I brought wine and dessert. Derek posted a photo of his family at Brooke's parents' house. The caption read, "Grateful for family who show up." Neil saw it too. That little shit. Leave it alone. He's taking shots at you online. Let him. Brooke's sister commented, "Where's Derek's mom?" The comment disappeared an hour later. Christmas was worse. The girls were in matching pajamas in every photo. Paige, the older one, looked uncomfortable in some of them. Forced smiles. I sent cards with money to Neil's house, addressed to the girls. I trying to get them. Derek called me 2 days after Christmas. I almost didn't answer. Mom? Derek? I saw you sent cards to Neil's. I did. Why didn't you send them here? You asked me not to contact you. I respected that. The girls are different. You could have what? Violated your boundaries? You were very clear. Silence. Brooke's upset. About what? She thinks you're being petty. Her whole family asks where you are at things. I'm where I've always been, Derek. At home. Alone. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I'm not making anything hard. I'm doing exactly what you asked. Mom, come on. Is there anything else? He hesitated. No. Okay then. I hung up. Neil called 10 minutes later, laughing. He's panicking. Good. Brooke's family is asking questions he can't answer. Her dad asked him point blank why you weren't at Christmas. What did he say? That you were busy, but nobody bought it. Diane told Brooke she's worried about you. I'm fine. I know you are, but they don't know that. And Derek's starting to look like the bad guy. He is the bad guy. Yeah, but now other people are figuring it out too. February brought the irreversible thing. I was at the grocery store when my vision went sideways. The floor tilted. Someone caught me before I hit the ground. I woke up in the emergency room. Neil was there. You passed out. They're running tests. I'm fine. You're not fine. When's the last time you ate a real meal? I didn't answer. The doctor came in 3 hours later, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes. Mrs. Brennan, we found some concerning results. Your blood pressure is dangerously low, and you're severely anemic. When did you last see your primary care physician? I don't remember. Your heart rhythm is also irregular. We need to admit you overnight for monitoring. Neil stood up. I'm calling Derek. Don't! Lainey, I mean it, Neil. Don't call him. The doctor looked between us. Is there a family issue we should be aware of? No, I said. My brother will be my emergency contact. Neil didn't call Derek, but Diane did. Brooke's mother somehow found out I was in the hospital and called Brooke, who told Derek. He showed up the next morning while I was being discharged. Mom, what the hell? I'm fine. You're not fine. You were in the hospital. And now I'm leaving. Neil's taking me home. Why didn't you call me? I looked at him. Really looked at him. You told me not to. This is different. This is serious. Everything's serious when it's convenient for you, Derek. Brooke appeared in the doorway. She looked uncomfortable. Elena, we were worried. Were you? It wasn't a question. Of course we were. You're family. Funny, I wasn't family at Thanksgiving or Christmas. Derek's jaw tightened. Mom, don't do this here. Do what? Tell the truth? You erased me from your life because I was too much work. I respected that. Now you're upset because I didn't break your rules during a medical emergency? It's not like that. Then what's it like, Derek? Explain it to me. Brooke stepped forward. Elena, Derek was just overwhelmed. We both were. The girls, work, everything. We needed space to figure things out. Space from me specifically. From everyone. From pressure. What pressure did I put on you? She faltered. You were always there. That's pressure? It felt like obligation, like we had to include you in everything or you'd be hurt. So you cut me out completely instead of having a conversation. Derek crossed his arms. You're being unreasonable. I'm being unreasonable? I almost died alone in a grocery store because I stopped eating properly after my son told me I was exhausting. But I'm unreasonable. You're guilt-tripping. I'm stating facts. Neil walked in with my discharge papers. He saw Derek and his expression went cold. You need to leave. Uncle Neil, this is between... Leave. Now. Before I make you. Brooke pulled Derek toward the door. He looked back at me. Mom, we should talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice. I made mine. What choice? To stop waiting for you to remember I exist. They left. Neil drove me home in silence. Spring came. I didn't hear from Derek for 2 months. Then Paige's birthday arrived in May. Neil told me Brooke's family confronted Derek about my absence. Diane asked him directly why you weren't invited to the party, in front of everyone. What did he say? That you two were working through some issues. Diane said that's not what it looked like from where she was standing. She said it looked like he abandoned his mother and she ended up in the hospital because of it. Good for Diane. It gets better. Brooke's dad pulled Derek aside and told him he was acting like Brooke's ex-husband, selfish and self-absorbed. Ouch. Yeah, Derek didn't take it well. Brooke's been crying to her mom that her marriage is strained because Derek can't admit he was wrong. That's not my problem. No, it's his. Derek called me a week later. Mom, can we meet somewhere, please? Why? Because I need to talk to you, face to face. About what? About everything. About how I handled things. I was wrong. I sat down on my couch. Wrong about what specifically? About cutting you off. About blaming you for things that weren't your fault. Brooke and I have been in therapy, and I'm seeing things differently now. Therapy won't fix this, Derek. I know I hurt you. I know I can't take it back, but I want to try to make things right. There is no making this right. You told me I was too much, that I was exhausting, that my presence in your life was a burden. Do you know what that did to me? I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't cover it. You let me collapse in a grocery store. You let me spend months wondering what I did wrong. You posted pictures of your happy family while I sat alone in the house where I raised you. I know. I was selfish. I was listening to the wrong people. Don't blame Brooke. I'm not. I'm blaming myself. I should have handled it better. You shouldn't have handled it at all. There was nothing to handle. I loved you. I supported you. I showed up for your family, and you threw me away like garbage. His voice cracked. Mom, please. The girls ask about you every day. Paige cried at her birthday party because you weren't there. Then you should have thought about that before you sent that text. I can't undo it, but I can do better going forward. No, Derek, you can't. What does that mean? It means I'm done. I'm done waiting for you to decide I'm worth keeping. I'm done being optional. You're not optional. I was for 6 months. That's all I needed to know. Mom, you're my mother. We can fix this. No, we can't. Because every time I look at you now, I'll remember that you chose to hurt me. That when things got hard in your life, I was the easiest thing to cut out. That I wasn't important enough to fight for. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? I gave you everything. I sacrificed my own life to make sure you had opportunities. And the second I became inconvenient, you erased me. So no, Derek, there's no fixing this. There's no going back. There's just you living with what you did. Silence stretched between us, long and heavy. So that's it? You're just done? I'm just done. What about the girls? Send them cards from me. Tell them I love them. But I won't be at birthdays or holidays or school events. I won't be available for emergencies. I won't be the grandmother they take for granted because their father taught them I'm disposable. Mom. Goodbye, Derek. I hung up. My hands weren't shaking this time. Neil came over that evening with takeout. I heard. News travels fast. Brooke called Diane crying. Derek's apparently devastated. He'll survive. You really not going to see the girls? Not while they're in that house. Not while Derek gets to pretend everything's fine after using me as a stress ball. That's harsh, Lainey. It's survival. We ate in silence for a while. Then Neil asked, Do you think he'll ever really understand what he did? I looked out the window. The sun was setting. Maybe, maybe not. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Sometimes the damage is done, whether they understand it or not. Sometimes you don't get to come back from the things you say to people. Sometimes silence is the only answer that matters. Neil nodded slowly. And you're okay with that? I have to be, because the alternative is letting him hurt me again. And I'm worth more than that. The room went quiet. Outside, kids were playing in someone's yard, laughing. I looked at Neil. If your child told you they were exhausted by your existence, that loving them was too much work, and then months later wanted back in because it made them look bad, would you let them?